going to start off today's recap with one of the more embarrassing things I've ever seen from a baseball player. So AAA player for the Cardinals, Delvin Perez, he pimped this ball because he thought he hit it to outer space. Well, the left fielder actually caught it. Delvin kept on trotting around the bases as if it was a home run. Yeah, that's embarrassing. What's up, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. We have a lot to talk about because the Yankees, they dropped their 2017 AL Rookie of the Year runner-up. Miguel Andujar is no longer a member of the Bronx Bombers. We'll talk about that in a moment. The Cleveland Guardians embarrassed the Chicago White Sox, and that makes me very happy to say out loud. And Kolten Wong, he morphed into prime Christian Yelich yesterday. I haven't said this in a while, but real quick, if you're going to any last-minute baseball games, football games, concerts, make sure that you use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek to save yourself 20 bucks off your entire order. Now, I just want to say I feel terrible for Zach Gallen. His team somehow lost the game even though he had his best career start as a big leaguer. 2 hits allowed and 13 punch-outs against the best team in baseball, the LA Dodgers. So Arizona actually took the lead on Christian Walker's 36 home run. I forgot that he had that many. He's 4 away from 40. Quick maths. But yeah, Mookie Betts and the Dodgers, they stole the game right from underneath the Arizona Diamondbacks. That is the first walk-off hit for Mookie Betts as a Dodger. I think he had a walk-off fielder's choice, but yeah, that's the first hit. The Yankees also had a walk-off, but we got to talk about Miguel Andujar being DFA'd. The kid had 76 extra base hits and a 130 OPS plus as a rookie back in 2017 when he lost the Rookie of the Year race to Shohei Ohtani. Like, those are insane stats, and I hope that he somehow breaks out for another team if they take a flyer on him, because he does have the tools, he has the skills, he just doesn't have the confidence. I know that baseball is hard, but Aaron Judge somehow makes it look easy. Like, he threw out Tommy Pham with an absolute dart from right field, but it didn't even look like he threw it that hard. Then again, it was an absolute seed. Then he almost walked it off for his 61st home run of the season. The cameraman deserves prison time after that, by the way. He teased the entire baseball world. Now, Josh Donaldson did deliver again with yet another walk-off. He has been fantastic since giving birth. Well, not him, his daughter. You guys know what I mean. He's hitting basically 320 with 4 extra base hits and 7 RBIs in the 10 games since his wife gave birth and he became a dad. So I'm telling you, dad power, it's a thing. Kolten Wong, more like Colton Bonds, because this dude was seeing beach balls yesterday. He teed off for his first career 3 home run game. He now has 15 home runs on the season, which is a career high. He also has a 119 OPS plus, which is also a career high. So Kolten Wong having a nice little breakout season at age however old he is. I didn't look that up. I forgot. The St. Louis Cardinals finally broke through with some offense, and they needed that bad. I think they had scored 1 run in their previous 40 innings. It was getting downright embarrassing for Cardinals fans. Rookie Brendan Donovan charged up for this one. He has 5 home runs on the season, but a silly 390 on base percentage. The Cardinals had to deploy their all-star closer sooner than they hoped, and he emptied his entire tank. He threw the fastest pitch of the season, 104, and Josh Bell somehow fouled it off. Giovanni Gallegos ended up saving it, and look at Paul Goldschmidt making the final out. So after seeing Milwaukee win and the Padres, well, actually, we haven't talked about the Padres. Give me a second. So again, don't go anywhere. We're going to talk about the wild card standings in just a moment, but let's talk about my team. The Cleveland Guardians, they swept the Chicago White Sox just a few days after Elvis Andrus said this, that the Guardians would crumble. Now, a lot of White Sox fans are saying, what was he supposed to say? He was asked the question, you're not supposed to say that the team you're about to face is going to crumble. What I would say if I was Elvis Andrus is, hey, the Guardians are playing really well. We have a lot of talented players. I'm excited for the series. That's all you have to say. I wouldn't say that the team who is in first place is going to crumble right before we play them. That's stupid. Shane Bieber has a 1.75 ERA and a .85 whip over his last 11 starts. He has been Cy Bieber all over again. Ozzie Guillen, the former White Sox manager, he had some very interesting things to say about not only his team, the White Sox, but the Cleveland Guardians. Very, very interesting.
Because they show up, they get on the ball and say, we hereby, they did it to Minnesota, and they did it to White Sox, and they did it bad. They just like destroyed them. We are in town. Be careful with your girlfriends because they might have a couple drinks with us tonight.
Talked about the White Sox, we talked about the Guardians, let's talk about the Minnesota Twins, and yet again they had a moment where the doctors, they put that little electric thing to the chest, they said clear, but there was no response. The injury bug was far too great for them to overcome in the second half, so the Twins, in my opinion, probably, maybe I jinx it and they're going to go off for 10 straight wins, but I think their season is over, and good for Kansas City. They've won 3 games in a row since firing their manager and their general manager, so a little tip of the cap to the Kansas City Royals. The Mets did not play yesterday, but we're still going to talk about the Braves, and no offense, actually, there was no offense. Ranger Suarez tossed 6 shutout as the bullpen actually held their own for once. They came away with a 1-0 dub. It's crazy that the Philadelphia Phillies are 15 games over 500, yet they're still 12 games back in that division. So here is the NL East in a nutshell. Yeah, the Braves are 1.5 games back after that loss. Okay, so we have something brewing in the AL wildcard as the Orioles won yet again and the Blue Jays lost again. Jonathan Aranda opened it up for the Tampa Bay Rays, and Wander Franco came away with a big 3 RBI day. Kyle Bradish, the rookie for Baltimore, again looked like prime Bieber. I think that's my best comparison. Kyle Bradish, Shane Bieber, they have a lot of similarities. The rookie showed off the nasty stuff. He almost went a complete game against the Astros, a 2-hitter. He was 1 single out away from a complete game shutout, but the Mountain picked up his 15th save. Felix Bautista is a problem. He honestly might be better than Jorge Lopez. So the Jays are still in first place for the wild card, but the Rays, Mariners, and Orioles are all right there waiting to play spoiler if the Toronto Blue Jays suffer any hiccups. And before I move on to the Mariners, let's talk about the NL wild card real quick because I kind of skipped past that. So it's tight. Milwaukee is 2.5 games back of the Phillies, and San Diego is only a half game ahead of the Phillies for that second wild card spot. So again, it's complete madness right now. Seattle Mariners scored a few to start off this game, but I want to focus on one single player, Jarred Kelenic. He has been written off by 90% of the baseball world, but not me, because I think that he could be the next Grady Sizemore. That is a 430-foot moonshot, and then there's an RBI hustle double. He was running at 30.1 feet per second, which is top 5% sprint speed. So if you have Jarred Kelenic actually reaching his potential and J-Rod in the same outfield, I know that he left with a back injury, but he should be all right. J-Rod and Kelenic performing at their peak, that's one of the best outfielders we've ever seen, at least for young outfielders. Seattle ends up winning 9-5 after Adam Frazier went off for 3 RBIs. He is looking pretty good as of late. The Giants, they've won 4 in a row now, while the Cubs have won 3 in a row. Mike Yastrzemski is trying to save a disappointing season. I think he has a 91 OPS plus, which is not completely horrific, but it's not good. And then Camilo Doval, he finished it off for a 3-0 victory. This Hayden Wesneski kid is nasty. So the Cubs got him in the, what's his name? Scott Efris. I almost said Zach for some reason. Hayden Wesneski threw an immaculate inning in this 3-2 victory over the Pirates. He now has a 2.45 ERA and a near 10 strikeouts per 9 and 22 innings. He is a lot of fun to watch, I'm not gonna lie. Corey Seager, his 2-run blast was his 32nd home run of the season. That put the Rangers up and they win 5-3. Now, one note I do want to make, Corey Seager is the #1 player in baseball when it comes to hitting into the shift and getting out. So going into 2023, I feel like Corey Seager is going to be even better because those line drives to the second baseman that is playing shallow right field, those are going to be base hits. And I'm not going to lie, Corey Seager might be a little sneaky AL MVP pick for 2023 if his batting average gets a 10-20% increase. So that does it for all of the games from yesterday, but do not go anywhere. We're going to show the web gems after talking about this day in MLB history. Back on September 23rd, 1988, Jose Canseco, using a balanced breakfast, became baseball's first ever 40-40 player that has 40 home runs and 40 stolen bases. And 12 years ago today, Jose Bautista hit his 50th home run of the season. I think he became the 26th player ever to do that. I still remember it like it was yesterday. Bautista was so much fun to watch. One, because he was good. He had a cannon for an arm, and he had a loud mouth. But hey, that does it for today's recap. I hope that you learned something new and enjoyed. Leave a like and subscribe if you did, and enjoy the web gems.
This breaking ball past a diving Henderson to the backhand of Mateo. That's just ridiculous.
He has, because he knows what he has to do. I mean, this is a team play right here. Mountcastle's.
And that gets past Soto. And Nathaniel Lowe is going to try to score. The throw is a good one. Out at the plate. Throw right to that third base side of the bag. The catch and the tag on the back foot.
Juan Soto may have a chance. This is bloop to left, And Profar dives to make the catch and foul ground.
Off the fist, roller to short, Bogart's tough play, and he makes it.